Okay, we are recording, and we're off, everyone. Welcome to Monday. It's time in 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait, is it recording? No, it isn't. Ooh, almost screwed that up. 3, 2, 1.
This is David Kaye, the voice of Megatron Beast Wars. Yes, excellent. And you're listening to the morning stream. Get up and terrorize.
Maybe I ought to tie that long hair on your head to the short hair on your ass and kick you down the street.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. This is the morning stream.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Monday, August 19th, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson, and that is Brian Ibbett.
Hello, low.
Yes, look at us doing Monday morning TMS.
I know, it's so good to be back on Mondays. Boy, it's been a while, been a minute since we
had a proper Monday. I guess we only missed one, but it felt like an eternity.
I think we only missed one, yeah.
Feels like a long time. And for those wondering how Monday, the whatever Labor Day is,
12th.
Is it?
Monday, the 2nd. September 2nd.
Yeah, if you're wondering if we're here that day, we're not. We're taking it off.
We're not.
Just like last year. All right.
Yep.
We like to celebrate the holidays.
We typically take off the barbecue holidays, Labor Day, Memorial Day.
That's right.
Because we gotta spend some time with our grills.
Yeah, that burger's not going to cook itself. That propane isn't going to go down to the station and fill itself. So
that's right.
So unless you guys plan on doing it for us, no show that Monday. But we got a ways off for that, so don't worry too much about it. Brian, I've been sitting on this all weekend. You told us, or you at least hinted on Sunday, that you had some big story to tell on TMS, and so I give you wide open freeway access now.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So Saturday, Tina and I decided we were going to go out to this place here in town called Second and Charles. So. You guys have your gray whale. So we used to have a place called Media Play. I think there was Media Plays all around the country, but Second and Charles is this the store that has. I should see if they have locations across the country because they are fantastic. It's a giant book, vinyl record, CD, comic book, video game store. It's massive. And it's in the malls. We have one that's just north of us at Flatiron, and we have one that's just south of us at Colorado Mills. And they were having a special on Hobbs Dog gets it, best store ever. He agrees. I agree. They had a special thing going on Saturday called Penny a Page. So you go there and used books were only a penny a page. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to pick up, see if there were any Chuck Palahniuk books I haven't picked up and read yet. See about graphic novels, whatever I could find, right? And Tina's going to look for some of her books. So we get in there, and it's in the mall, and it's one of these places that is kind of frequently used as an entrance and exit to the mall because it goes out to a very convenient part of the parking lot, and it's a big store. So there's like a wide lane that goes right through the middle of the store into the mall and then out to the parking lot.
Okay.
And I'm in there. I find a really cool X-Men graphic novel that I haven't read yet, and this really cool coffee table book about Disneyland that's normally $40, but it had 300 pages in it, so I got it for $3.
Jeez.
But it's like photos from like the first several years of Disneyland with Walt Disney walking around the Native American ride and the cowboy ride and all that stuff before they got all glammed up. And Tina and I split up, and then we came back. I'm kind of looking through the store, and I see her, and she's coming towards me, and she's like, "Did you hear any of that?" And I'm like, "No, what's going on?" She's a bunch of people. She was really close to the window, the mall side of the store, and she said, "Yeah, a whole bunch of people came screaming down the mall into the store, into Second and Charles, and then through the store and then out the door, and they were yelling about a gun." Like, oh my God, really? Yeah. And I look over, and the employees are already pulling down the metal grate to the mall to cut off access and immediately lock the store down. Like, wow, oh, geez, okay. But I'm sitting here carrying these books and I'm checking out. Like, I'm getting ready to check out. Lady's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. And she beep, beep. Oh, this will give me $3. You saved a lot of money on this. And like, meanwhile, there's somebody over on the side going, hey, we're gonna bring everybody into our back room. If you are done in the store, go ahead and get out through the entrance. But if you're shopping, just please come into this thing. So I'm like, hurry up and get the stuff checked out, and so I could go in the back room there and and go.
Yeah.
Yes, Claire. She carried on serving me. She already had the register was already going and stuff before they started doing the announcements.
Right. Sounds like you were. I mean, you were right in the middle of it. It's not like
I was right in the middle of it. The gate was closed. Nothing was really going to happen. It's a metal gate. They could totally shoot through the gate, but whatever. But she carried on serving me and checking me out. And then we go in the back room, and that's where I'm back here texting the film set guys and saying, well, hey, this is something interesting happening to me today. But check out these graphic novels I got. And I was, for whatever reason, just relatively calm about the whole thing. It's like, well, they had the gate closed down. I don't feel in any danger whatsoever in here.
Yeah.
Whatever was going on down the mall and that sort of thing.
Right.
And they're talking, the people are like, oh, I think it might be an active shooter or something. Don't know what's going on. And so I'm like trying to find any news on it on Threads. Sadly, none of our local police station, the police departments have Threads accounts yet. They all have Twitter accounts or X accounts, but they don't have Threads accounts. So I'm like, all right, hopping on Twitter and doing any search for information. Can't find anything. And she says, okay, we can't let people back into the store, but we have this back exit. If you don't need to do any more shopping with us, or if you don't want to wait it out or anything like that, you can go ahead and hop out through this back door, which will take you right out by the side of the building to the parking lot.
Yeah.
Just don't walk towards the Target, because apparently whatever was happening was coming from the Target store.
It feels like they'd have you
in the area.
It feels like they'd have you shelter in place for longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they thought there was an active shooter, it's like, well, just go out in the back in the parking lot where it's possible you could get shot. Like that seems...
where the active shooter might have moved to. Yeah. Who knows?
It's weird.
So, and this may be because at that point they had gotten the all clear. Who knows? But we get out, we go across. We get in the car, we drive across the street to where we're going to grab dinner, and we start looking for information. And then it starts coming out that it was a few kids in masks and robes who went into the food court.
I'm going to hate this.
And started throwing milk jugs at the ground, which caused these loud noises. People already freaked out and probably starting to take off because there were these kids yelling with masks and robes, and who knows what they've got going on.
Yeah.
And they're not facing the action in the food court, so they hear these loud noises, which turns out just to be these kids throwing milk jugs on the ground and causing a hullabaloo and causing the entire mall to shut down for quite a while they investigate this whole thing.
Sounds like mission accomplished for the stupid kids. They probably got exactly what they wanted.
We wanted mayhem. We caused some mayhem.
Yeah.
But freaking crazy as hell.
So hold on, with these jugs, were they full length, like gallon jugs of milk? Like,
I have no idea. I assume so. I mean, milk jugs, they would have to be, right? Or maybe those quart ones. Who knows?
I'm just trying to think how you would, like, if you slam those hard enough on the ground, I'm just trying to figure out how you'd make a sound that sounded like a gun. You know what I mean?
Right? I'm just making a loud pop or something when they pop open, but who knows? Yeah.
I wonder if there is like a YouTube channel associated with it. Some kids doing some stupid prank shit, trying to get online, get some hits for it or something. I don't know. Did you ever hear any of the results? Like, did they arrest these kids or do anything like that?
They did. Yeah, they got they were able to get the kids, and this article. Let me see what they closed by saying something like. 2 of the 3 juveniles were detained and have been cited for causing a public disturbance.
Wow.
So.
I wonder what that carries. Probably just a slap on the wrist and.
Who knows?
You go.
Yeah.
I had friends that would do shit like this, so I'm not that, kids are kids are stupid, but to do this at a time where, mass shootings are real and the sound of what people think is gunfire in a public place, I mean, that's a lot of panic. It's a lot of freak out.
Yeah. Claire says, they arrested the kids for throwing milk. No, Claire. They arrested the kids for walking into a crowded food court with masks and robes, shouting and scaring people that way, I think, is probably more what it is, Claire, than just throwing milk.
Well, yeah, a public nuisance.
Yeah.
Public nuisance is you can arrest people for that. That's
Absolutely.
not.
Yes.
I don't know
especially when you're especially when you're doing something that is usually the start to something far worse, Columbine or the movie theater shooting or things like that. All of these things that started with somebody with either a trench coat or a mask or both or tactical gear or something like that.
Yeah, and you're in Colorado where those things happened, right? So it's on people's minds. It's like a permanent fixture in people's minds if they hear shit like that. But also, if I walked into an Irish pub and threw milk on the ground, I'm guessing I'd get arrested there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
You know, they're not like, oh, it's okay. It's just wasting milk. It's fine.
What a funny prank you just pulled.
There's kids who won't have their cereal today.
No, I'm laughing my shillelaghs off.
Also, for the record, your second in Charles apparently is everywhere, but not too far west. It's lots of southern locations. Yeah, we don't have anything out toward California or us or Nevada or any of that. But I think you guys are kind of the edge of it. But there's like Columbus, Ohio, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Bossier City, Louisiana. I've been there before. It's a great town. Augusta, Georgia, Auburn Hills, Georgia. Like you said, Aurora, Colorado, Fort Collins. Yeah, they're all over it. I want one. We don't have one. I like their orange logo.
I know. You need them. They're great. And that's probably where I'm going to take my, I've got an Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3 that I need to unload.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, get rid of a couple of those, there.
You should poke Dunaway and see if he needs a PS3. He might.
I'm sure. I have no doubt that he's already got several. It probably still has the one I want to get rid of, which is the original, the PS3 Fat.
Oh, the big fatty. That one will
fatty,
do. That one does PS2 and PS1 discs. The old original.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are kind of rare. You should get good money for that.
Yeah. It's just taking up space here.
Yeah, you definitely don't need it. I'd sell
it would be nice to, yeah. But no, that's cool. That's good that it's better. That it's that'll fetch a little bit more coin than the Slim.
Yeah.
That can't handle the backwards compatibility. Didn't realize that they all did.
Just that one. They quickly replaced it with whatever the 2.0 model was, and it wasn't. They didn't change that. Like physically, it looked the same. Mm-hmm. It's just that it didn't have the chip in there to do the previous games, and people were mad. It was like a big whoop at the time. People are ticked they didn't get the original one. So I'll bet you'll get an extra couple of $100 for that.
Oh, nice! Wow,
yeah.
Cool.
So when you list
Graham, this was day one PlayStation 3. This was me pre-ordering, getting it then with the memory card slots, with the backwards compatibility, etc. So I also put a new hard drive in there, but I should probably put the stock one back in just.
Wait, your PS3 has memory card slots? They can't have memory card slots, can it?
Doesn't it?
No, PS3 had a hard drive in it.
It definitely has a hard drive. Did it not have?
I don't think so. I could be wrong though. That original one, maybe it had stuff I'm not aware of, but I'm pretty sure
it's so far over there I can't see it. But I'll look after the show and see.
Yeah, PS2 definitely had slots. PS1,
yeah, not a PS2, Claire. I could tell by the chat who's half listening to the show.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody got arrested for throwing milk? That's ridiculous.
How does that happen?
How does that? That's your country's crazy.
We got this email or this text. I can't remember how we got it from Paul Sevilla.
Oh, I like this. Yeah, this is cool.
This is cool. So Brian and I both, and Dunaway and a lot of people I know went and saw the new Alien movie over the weekend. Mm-hmm. We're not going to talk about it or anything in particular. I think people should go see it. It's awesome. But this person said, "Hi, seeing the latest Alien movie inspired me to ask, what is the most wicked corporation in fiction? How would you rank these evil corporations?" Then he gave us a list. So you got your Weyland-Yutani, which is your Alien one, which is pretty, since it's fresh in my mind, I feel like it's top of the list, but
it's pretty, I mean,
it's up there.
It's in almost every movie, the goal is to bring back a xenomorph or bring back face huggers back to Earth so that we can use them as a weapon.
Exactly. Yeah. They're kind of the worst. But here are the rest. You've got Umbrella Corporation from Resident Evil. That's a good one. Got a lot of that one got a lot of people killed and continues to get people killed. Vault-Tec Corporation from the Fallout universe. Tyrell Corporation from Blade Runner.
Yeah. I mean, they just wanted to make some. It wasn't necessarily Tyrell that was the issue. Greed was the issue with Tyrell, but it was more that the replicants became so self-aware they overthrew, right? And
and
decided we don't want to be slaves anymore, and like Tears and Rain.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to levy anything against Tyrell Corporation, it is that they played God basically.
Yeah,
and went too far.
Well,
like
I mean, look at this list.
Yeah, we got InGen from Jurassic Park. That's a pretty good one. Although the Jurassic Park one had noble beginnings.
The problem is that they before they stopped to think of if they could. They knew they could, but they didn't stop to think if they should.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see, Oscorp from Spider-Man.
That's just one dude who's evil.
Yeah, that's really just one guy.
But I guess
I guess it spreads from there.
If your leader is a complete evil jackass, does that make the whole company evil? Well, does it, Tesla?
Very good. Also, the chat says Firefly and the Alliance. The Alliance is a government. I wouldn't count that. I mean, it's got corporate ties, but the Alliance is not specifically a out of control corporation. It's it's the ruling government. It's the tyrannical government, which is a different category. Let's see. By and Large from Wall-E. It's a pretty good one. It's a little more lighthearted, but I like it. Cyberdyne Systems. That's a good one.
Terminator. Yeah,
sure.
That's good.
Although with all the time travel and shit, kind of messes it.
I know. It's like what again, it was just creating robots that became sentient and took over, that they weren't necessarily evil, they just were dumb.
Yeah,
I
agree. Soylent Corporation from Soylent Green. That's a good one. Nice old school one. And someone in the chat said the company from Devs, and I don't remember the name, but that's a great one. Dude, those people were psychos. What a cool show that was.
That was really good.
I'm going to rewatch that, I think, soon. Kim never saw it. She'd love it. And guess who loved Romulus? My wife. She
really? Yeah.
Freaking loved it. And she's not, one for typical horror movies. Like, if your movie's about some kind of psychotic, like Long Legs, she's not going to see that.
Yeah, no, Tina's not either. No, Tina liked Romulus as well. Had the same, again, loved 95% of it. I thought was fan freaking tastic, and this last 5% is not going to spoil my enjoyment of the film. There was just an execution issue. Not that somebody gets executed, something different, but an execution issue on an idea I really liked, and then another thing that I didn't like.
Yeah, for me,
I talked with TV's Travis over the weekend. He had the same two issues.
Yeah, my issues were less about the second one. In fact, I felt like that was just done. Finally, it was done right. And that's what I liked about it. I'm trying to find, I have actually a photo of the guy. I want to show you this, not tell anyone else because I don't want to give this away.
A spoiler.
But I can't find it. Where the hell did it go? Shit. Well, I'll track it down. I could have sworn I put it in Discord.
Anyway, so which one of these? Oh yeah, and somebody, the Wraith says, will the next Alien movie be called Vulcan or Remus? Well, Scott pointed out that the video game Alien Isolation takes place on Remus.
So there's some correct, but there has been some correction thrown at me saying, well, we don't know for sure, but we think it's Remus.
Really? Okay.
And the reason that we think it is because in the movie there are these telephone devices that are screens also. It's like video. You know what I'm talking about? There are times where they have to communicate or whatever. They are, and the director is, said this. He says those are pulled directly out of that movie. And so people are making these assumptions about, well, I think they were on the Remus half of that thing. But some of the Wikipedia stuff about the game puts it in a different place or a different system. So there's some confusion about all that. And I've tried to get my head around it since. But he was definitely inspired by it. Fede Alvarez, the director, said that his whole inspiration for seeking the directorial position on this was him playing Isolation years ago when he was working on Don't Speak or Don't Yell or Don't Talk or Don't Speak. What's it called? The one with the crazy guy in the house who's blind, and if you talk, he'll kill you.
Yes, I can remember.
It's a great movie.
I
can't remember it. Anyway, Don't Yell, something like that. Don't Breathe. That's it. Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe. Okay.
Anyway, when he was directing that, he was playing that, and he was like, I am going to make an Alien movie. And sure enough, he did it. And I think he did a killer job. He did a great job.
I feel like I haven't seen that, but I feel like it borrows as much from that as it does from Dead Rising. Dead Rising?
Evil
the one
Dead?
that-
Evil Dead?
No. The video game that
Dead
the
Rising's
survival horror-
a zombie one. You're thinking.
that's not Dead Rising. What's the one where you're Dead Space? Thank you, Free Rangers.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a very Dead Space feel to the stuff in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue Dead Space,
Well, probably
lifted from
inspired by
Alien.
the original Alien. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of Alien stuff. But my favorite thing about the movie, again, it's not a spoiler, but this adherence to the lo-fi tech of the original.
Yeah.
Love that shit.
I did too. It felt it.
Blinky
even-
lights,
even-
everything's a switch. Video looks like shit. It's great.
So happy when a prequel knows where its time place is, and that you don't all of a sudden start getting better tech than the original movie.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So do check it out, everybody.
Yes. So I'd say out of all those, the most evil, man, Weyland-Yutani feels pretty high on the list. But let's bring back face huggers and.
And to me, it's more than that. They have really shitty conditions at all their mines, all of their business interests. Everything they run is bad for
And they're-
humanity.
And they're bad at making synthetics and
That's
giving
right.
them orders. They're just bad.
That's right.
Like
That's right. Some of them have
directives, they're really bad at directives.
Yeah, they got an ash problem. I'll put it that way. Got a big ash problem. All right, let's get Dunaway in here. We're going to play a game. Where the hell? I'm in the wrong. Okay, because I was looking for that image. Here it is. Okay, Dunaway is coming. He's coming in hot. I just know it. I can feel it. I just can feel it. And as soon as he picks up, we're going to play a game. Hey, you guys. This means it's time to play a little half-asses with Brian Dunaway, who joins us now. Hi.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
What's going on, man?
Hello.
How are you?
Guys, it's Monday.
Yeah?
It is Monday.
Hey, do you ever go
You
to
know what-
Second and Charles? There's one in your in Greenville. It says here. Do you ever go to that store?
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't know that. It's in Greenville? That's
Yeah,
nice. Yeah,
yeah.
Second and Charles. What the crap does that mean again?
There's also one in
It's
there's one in Charlotte, North Carolina, but also wait, let me make sure this
That's
is right.
too far.
No, I know. Here it is, Columbia, South Carolina, and
That's close.
You have
That's about
one
an hour
in-
either way. Both of those are pretty good. So I got to go here and experience a shooting as well as an active shooter situation. Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
It's elective shooter is what it was.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah.
I'm curious because this looks like it was
drive
kind of
by milketing.
right. This kind of looks like it was like Books a Million or something. I used to go to this. Did it used to be another place?
Probably
or something?
was. Yeah, those
Okay.
they all kind of Spirit Halloween their way into things that were formerly similar kinds of stores, like Media Play or and we never had Gray Whale out here, but stuff like that.
You're just making up words.
Dude, Gray Whale's awesome. We have Gray Whale out here. They're great.
Yeah, Gray Whale. I think as far as I know, Gray Whale is just a Utah thing, but went out there for a on Record Store Day, or I was out there for Record Store Day. Well, I think when we were checking out Snowbird the first time to decide if we were going to go there.
Yeah.
And
2013.
oh yeah, right, because it was the morning that that I got driven to all of the different Gray Whales to find the albums I needed.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
I can already tell this place is a bad place for me to go anyway.
You would freaking love it. Everything,
No, I-
right? It's all retro. It's
you-
like it's
do you know
play
where-
retro as a store?
Exactly. Do you know where Lawrence Road is in Greenville?
Yes, Scott. I know where this place is actually. Once I looked it up, I'm like, okay, I know where that's.
Yeah,
at.
you should go and tell us what it's like. I want one of these stores.
But I just sent you in the Discord server why I don't need to go. It's a mystery box and a lady. She looks very nice and she's holding a mystery box and it says 50 DVDs and Blu-rays. It's a
Yes.
mystery. What's in it though?
Yeah,
I'll tell you
she
what's
did-
in it. Junk.
It's junk, right? It's going to be 14 copies of the Christina Aguilera single or something like that. No, it's crazy. That is a wild thing. They have these big boxes through the store in books, in CDs, in video games. Well, maybe
Nice.
not video games. And they're just blind. They're massive blind boxes, and you pay X amount, and you take all those home, and you open it up, and maybe there's a few gems in there that make it worth it. Who knows?
Look at the judgment on that face. That's like a drug dealer. Look at that. No, go ahead.
Yeah, she looks like
Yeah.
yeah, she's somebody who wants you to take that thing home and be shocked how many copies of something shitty is in there.
Maybe I'll pick one of those up and use it for prizes. That would be kind of fun, actually.
Oh, that would actually
right?
be
Yeah.
that's pretty smart. Actually, I like that
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
What if it's just 50 copies of Six Pack? What are you gonna do then? You gonna
There we go. Then I will give away 49 copies of Six Pack to TMS listeners.
Nice.
It'll be every prize. It'll be and a copy of Six Pack.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's a good way to get rid of your inventory at a place like that. That's sort of
It
good.
really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've been thinking, if I had the time, and maybe I just need to hire somebody to do it. Maybe Tristan should do it. Is go through my CD library and see what is available on Apple Music and put those CDs off to the side, because there's no reason I need to keep all these albums. I'm going to keep all my Squeeze, all my Elvis Costello, all my Crowded House,
Stuff you love, yeah.
stuff I love, regardless of if they're available on Apple Music. But maybe I don't need to keep, Pocket Full of Kryptonite by the Spin Doctors. Maybe that one could.
And that'll be the only one, because that's the only one you can think of, and that's it. There's no more. You're
Well,
gonna keep everything else.
Don't
What do you
take
keep?
don't take Dunaway's advice. He keeps everything. It's all retro. His life is retro. That's his life. And I'm surprised that I'm surprised you're not wearing clothes from the 90s right now, dude. Like, what do you have on right now?
Just regular. I got pajamas.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Great.
yeah, my footy pajamas with my underoos. I'm not retro. You're retro.
Take that.
I did. No, Scott does say like I live retro, but I think we've talked about it before. I just want to live anytime that's not right. I have a problem being now. So
Yeah.
I like being in the past. I like being in the future. It's just the now.
It's the
I really
now.
need some counseling.
Yeah, the now is hard. I get it. The now is hard no matter when you're in it. The now is hard. There's a reason why my whole life people have said you need to learn to live in the now. It's like,
Yeah.
but I don't want to. I want to live in 94 or the year 3000. Come on now.
Yeah.
Year 3000.
Either one.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have you here,
By the
man.
way,
We're
Brian,
gonna,
real quick, do you need an original PS3 fat that backwards compatible and
Do I need? No.
Yeah,
Do I want? Sure.
Well, what's it worth to you is the question, because Brian's
yeah,
got
we'll talk after the
We'll
show.
talk. We'll talk.
one. All right.
Will
Which
you
may
give
or
me more than Second and Charles would give me is the question.
yeah.
Oh my! I don't know, but I bet I can. I don't know. We'll have to see. Second Charles, I bet they give you $5. Are they going to GameStop you?
Probably.
Oh God, I hope not.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's all store credit.
Oh yeah.
The worst kind of credit.
I'll trade it for a big box of 6-pack CD or DVDs. All right, anyway,
Let's get into it. What do you have for us today, Brian?
I have. Why don't I read the welcome? Usually you do like Brian's going to explain it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Morning Half-Ass is a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving you the answers. I'm going to give Scott and Brian a category and 6 possible answers, 3 of which are correct and 3, like Scott's cues, are incorrect. Depending on how confident they feel with the category, they can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses, but if they get any wrong, 0 points for that round. Get 1 right gets you a point, 2 right gets you 3 points, and 3 right gets you 5 points. We're going to add up all those points at the end, and the player with the most wins the prize for their contestant. You're saying to yourself, who are these contestants, Brian? Well, I'm going to tell you. Well, it is you. If your name is Jeremy and you live in Madison, Wisconsin, Scott's going to be playing for you.
I can't wait, and I'll play for the whole city of Madison. That's fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
And if your name is Richard and you live in Pleasant Grove, Utah, well, Brian Dunaway is going to be playing for you.
This feels
Utah connection.
this feels inefficient. Like somehow,
It does,
yeah.
I know.
I'm fine with it though. It's good.
Going to be rooting against the guy from Utah.
Sure.
Crazy. We'll talk about what those prizes are in just a second, but let's go ahead and get to the game. We've got 3 rounds. We're going to start with this first one right here. Types of sword. Which of these 6 things are a type of sword? Your choices are Spatha, Reaverter, Kashata, Flamberge, Claymore, and Vorp.
Okay, I got a question.
This is Spatha. What?
Oh shit. Well,
If your question is,
can they be
are these
fictional?
types of sword? Then I will say 3 of them are.
Can they be fictional swords?
What does it matter to you, Scott?
Well, it does because one of these
I'm going to
is
say no. I'm going to say no because then it would be labeled. The question would be labeled names
Oh.
of fictional swords.
okay.
Okay, so that actually informs something. Wow, Scott, I'm impressed. There's a fictional sword on here.
Well, there's one close to fictional sword, and that's why I asked, because it's a little confusing. We'll get to that in a sec. All right, I'm no idea on the rest of these, so I'm going to choose these 2. All right.
Okay, both locked in. Wow, you guys, neither of you picked the same thing, right?
Oh.
You each picked two, and there are four
Interesting.
things picked. The ones you didn't pick, by the way, Reaverter is not a type of sword. Spatha, Spatha, that is a type of sword. It is a Roman. Yes, this is Spatha, and it is a Roman
Right.
sword, oddly enough.
Right. Your mom's name is Spatha? Mine too.
That's right. Brian, you picked the flamberge. That is a sword
that
with an
French?
undulating blade. Undulates. I had to look up, by the way. I looked at 3 YouTube videos about how to pronounce it. Each one told me a different way to pronounce flamberge. That is a real sword. Claymore, also a real sword. Of course,
Oh,
that is
really?
a Scottish greatsword, which means that Vorp is not a sword, even though it sounds
Oh,
like
Scott.
a Vorpal blade.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's what I kind of knew. That's why you were asking, but I don't want to give anything away. So you guys each picked one right and one wrong, but it doesn't matter. If you pick one wrong, you get 0 points.
Claymore's the
There
only
you
one
go.
I knew for sure. There was a couple of these others, like the Spatha one sounded like fake bullshit to me, but I don't know why.
It did, totally did. Yeah.
All right.
When Megas says, and he nailed it, and he says, "Thank you, Diablo 2." I guess that's all in. Those 3 are in Diablo 2. He says.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, they have a lot of. They go nuts on the variety in there.
Yeah.
So that would make sense.
Your delicious shake has arrived.
Yeah, I got some kind of protein deal going here. Thank you, dear.
Fantastic.
No
All right,
points.
let's get to question number 2. Which of these are discontinued breakfast cereals? Your choices are Dwarfies, Crazy Cow, Cocoa Chums, Agatha Crispies, Flaky Critters, and Crunchy Stars. 3 of these are real discontinued breakfast cereals. 3 of them are made up bullshit.
Crunchy.
Crunchy Stars.
Not only
with an umlaut.
Yeah, I was gonna
over
say there's
the-
an umlaut
one
on
of the O's.
there. Sounds like a German.
It's
deal.
like a heavy metal band, really, not a discontinued cereal.
The fact that it has an umlaut. All right. I don't know. Boy, I want Agatha Crispies to be correct.
I really
yeah,
did
yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't freaking know. These are all ridiculous. I'm going to choose 2 and just hope I got it.
Okay. All right. Neither of you chose Dwarfies. Dwarfies were a real cereal made by the Dwarfies Corporation from the 1920s to the 1960s.
Of course.
You both went with Crazy Cow.
Crazy Cow.
Crazy Cow. Yeah, Crazy Cow was made by General Mills in the 1970s. If my memory serves me correctly, it would turn your milk weird colors and stuff.
Right.
Was the whole thing about that.
I think that was the gimmick.
For your remaining choices, one of you chose Flaky Critters and the other one chose Crunchy Stars. Crunchy Stars is the real one. It was made by Post
look
in the
at you.
1980s. Scott
Wow.
taking 3 points for
Look
that
at
round.
Scott.
Oh my gosh, I didn't
Nice.
think Crunchy Stars. It's the umlaut that gave it away because I'm like, why would Brian put an umlaut in a fake one? It just didn't seem right to me. So that's why I chose it. I had no idea though. I'd eat a bowl of those. I'd try those.
Some Crunchy Stars?
Yeah,
I would. Yeah.
Why not?
Sure.
Yeah, why can't they just say crunchy though? Weirdos.
Yeah.
What are you trying to appease the Germans? What's going on here? Weird.
The Germans?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, by the way, those other ones did come from real sources. Agatha Crispies comes from the Rob Zombie movie House of a Thousand
Nah.
Corpses.
Clever.
Cocoa Chums is a Berenstain Bears book. And or is in a Berenstain Bears book, and Flaky Critters comes from the movie The Groove Tube, which was kind of like the Kentucky Fried Movie as far as being like a really racy and R-rated anthology film made up of a bunch of parodies and things like that.
Oh wow. Don't think I saw it.
Let's get to question 3. Scott taking the lead here, going into question 3 with 3 points to Brian
Sitting
Dunaway's
strong.
0. So you better get some right here.
I'm going to
Brian.
pick one just to piss you off. Go ahead.
That'll piss me off because it's like you're not even trying.
You're not even trying. What are you going to
Which
show
of
up?
these? Which of these are creatures hunted by Hercules during his 12
Hercules.
labors? You can talk during the question, Brian?
Sorry. Whenever I hear Hercules, I get to say it.
I know. Creatures hunted by Hercules during his 12 labors. You know that guy did 12 labors. Which 3 of these creatures were hunted during those 12 labors? Your choices are the Ceryneian hind, the Caledonian boar, the Tumesian fox, sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, the Stymphalian birds, the Nemean lion, and the Colchian dragon.
These all sound like horse shit to me.
They all sound like the George R. R. Martin farts is what they are.
A little bit.
What does the Tisian fox say?
Or no, it'd be like Dunaway's. It'd be down like that.
That's right.
I'm gonna
Brian's
go ahead
locked in.
and do 1. I don't know. I'm locked in now on 1. That's it.
Okay. For all the marbles, Brian locked in with 3, one of which was the Caledonian boar, which also happens to be one that Scott locked in with. That is not the father. Not the father. The Caledonian boar. Yeah, no, the 3 were the Ceryneian hind, the Stymphalian birds, and the Nemean lion. That was the Nemean lion was the first one I remember hearing about. So I was surprised that neither of you picked that up. I even want to say that he wore, like that might have been the first labor, and he wore the pelt from that lion over his shoulder for the other labors.
And a hind is like a deer, right? Like a.
I think it's a hound. It's another way of saying hound, I think. Maybe not.
Is it? Let's see. Hind animal. Oh, red deer, it says.
Red deer, nice job.
Female
Yeah.
deer, usually, right?
I thought a doe was a deer, a female deer.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
This is all very confusing. Adult female deer called a hind. Oh, okay.
I guess a hound, H-U-N-D, is what I'm thinking of as the alternate hound.
Well, if it didn't happen in Hercules in New York, I don't know anything about it.
Right. That's the educational one. That's the one we should all watch.
Yeah.
Well done to me, I guess.
Very good. Yeah, well done
job.
to Scott. Congratulations. And that means that our friend from Utah, who's not Scott Johnson, well, he's also losing. Jeremy in Madison, Wisconsin, you are getting these prizes, Shiny and Eternity, the Last Unicorn, on Steam. But don't worry, Richard in Pleasant Grove, Utah, you're not going away empty-handed. You're getting Through the Woods, all 3 of those, courtesy of our friend Louis Loyo. Thank you, Louis, for your contributions.
You know what's weird about Pleasant Grove? There's no grove that's like pleasant out there.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's nice.
It's full of unpleasant groves, or just no groves at all?
It's a nice area and everything. It's just, in fact, that place, the VR place that became very popular, and they did the Star Wars one in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
They're
the one at Venetian, yeah.
Yeah,
It's over
they're based in Pleasant Grove, and they have a really cool. I forgot the name of it, but they have a really cool installation there with all that VR stuff. The Void. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
That's all in Pleasant Grove, and it's a very cool area, but I don't know of a single grove, let alone a pleasant one, that's there. That's a weird name for a town. Anyway, Dunaway, don't feel bad, but also do. That's for you. This is for me and the Madison guy.
Congratulations.
And Brian will be sending out the prizes fortutely. Remind us what those. Did you already say what they were? You did.
I did. Yeah, Shiny, Eternity, The Last Unicorn, and Through the Woods.
Nice. Ooh,
So
Through the Woods is good,
congratulations to
actually.
you
That's
guys.
a very good game.
Nice.
Well done, everybody. Nice work, Brian. It's always good to have you here. You'll be back Wednesday for a little bit more.
Yeah. We'll be doing some Guess What the Tadpole Said. That's what we'll be doing.
Yeah, the
What
hardest.
did the tadpole say?
The hardest game of all time will be on Wednesday, and you might have a chance. I don't know, but until then, I'd like you to kiss our butts.
No, you.
All right, bye.
Aw. Just for that, he's not getting this PS3. Just for that.
Yeah, just for that one.
Just for that one right there.
All right, everybody. It is 10 minutes till Schleicher gets here, and that means we've got time to do the news. It's time for the news, and it's brought to you by.
Scott, I hear the Blue Prophecy, right?
Prophecy.
I hear the Blue Prophecy game mats are on their way. Do you have a sample you can show us by chance?
I do. Look at this, you guys. Look at this thing. Big 20 or whatever the size. I forgot the size. 24 by 14 inch. Beautiful, thick, rich, vibrant. Look how vibrant colors are.
Super vibrant.
Yeah.
Super.
The last shall be first. The first shall be last. My daughter, who's now running my store, told me that we have exactly 4 left.
Oh, wow.
And that's after we
Jeez.
doubled our order. So apparently these are quickly becoming a thing people want. So if you want one of those final 4, go to Frog
The final
Pants.
4.
Frogpants.shop. That's right. Frogpants.shop. And you're in. Get them while they last. 4 left. That's all there is. And they're on their way. So everybody who ordered one too, you'll be able to get yours pretty quick here.
Very cool.
Okay.
Nice.
Let's get to this story here in Berlin.
I thought it was about the band Berlin. Oh, now I'm bummed.
I know,
was
it's
all set
kind
to
of a
talk
shame.
about Terry Nunn.
I know, right? She's the best. Berlin's Rave the Planet Parade. They have they're big on like raves and techno and all that over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Their Rave the Planet Parade drew over 200,000 people, which the news is calling largely peaceful, so that's good.
Oh, good.
Berlin's
No thrown
Rave.
milk.
Yeah, right? No milk being thrown in Germany.
No milk being thrown. Yeah.
Berlin's Rave the Planet Techno Parade was largely peaceful, according to police. They said on Sunday, a day after hundreds of thousands of people took to the streets in the German capital to celebrate electronic music and its culture. A police spokeswoman said 56 criminal charges were filed for offenses for sexual assaults and violence. However,
Oh,
56 out of 200,000? That's not a bad... I'm not saying it's ever good. But you have a scale issue here that's a decent percentage. You know what I mean?
right. Yes, right.
That's really low. Like everybody would love that crime rate in their cities of 200,000 people. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Largely, that does qualify as largely peaceful. So
Yeah, I would agree.
Article, you are accurate.
yeah, I don't know what the actual percentage is. I could have figured that out. But anyway, a total of 21 police officers suffered injuries during the parade, which moved through the Tiergarten Park in central Berlin between the Brandenburg Gate and Victory Monument. Amid high temperatures, medical services treated around 600 people for issues ranging from minor cuts to alcohol and drug-related problems, including seizures. So yeah, you had a few of those. Still low percentage.
Still better than Woodstock 99.
Yeah. Tiergarten is a zoo, says Talia. Is that true? That's cool.
Like literally, or is just describing this event?
Or is that word mean zoo? Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
We are going to the Tiergarten to see the monkeys? Yeah. The figure was higher than last year's 500 interventions, so, it's growing. They expected 300,000 people to attend in procession with 30 parade floats and around 300 musicians taking part in the event, but they ended up with about 200,000. That's still a lot. That's a big old group. And I like my electronic music, Brian, but I don't know if I'm going to a big, sweaty 200,000 person thing for my music,
No. I feel like no, the smells. Is COVID a situation out there? Probably, right?
Yeah, I would assume. Like this, probably a super spreader event of some sort. I found out. Oh, this was so people know I went to Blizzard. I went to Blizzard, and while I was there, I wanted to see certain people that I haven't seen in a long time.
Sure.
And one guy in particular, Wyatt Chang, who works on the Diablo team, one of my favorite people. He listened to the show for years. Nicest guy. He's the one that took all that shit for announcing Diablo Immortal on stage, and everybody gave him crap for it. It's not his fault. It's a freaking messenger. Like, don't.
Yeah, exactly.
He
didn't completely create and publish that game.
No, and he just got piled on unfairly. It was not nice. Yes, Hobbsdog, the phone guy. He's so much more than that. He's one of the nicest human beings, and people couldn't have been more rude to the nicest guy. He's so nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was like, sweet, I get to see Wyatt. I get to meet him. I've seen him.
Hobbsdog. You could also call Brode the phone guy because Hearthstone can be played on mobile. So
yeah. It was absolutely unfair. I mean, I wasn't happy about Immortal either, but I wasn't about to lay it all on Wyatt. That's stupid.
Right, exactly.
So he's super nice, and I thought great chance to see him. I haven't seen him since like BlizzCon 2018. In fact, I think that was the year that he announced the Diablo Immortal got announced. So we're trying to track him down. Randy's helping me try to track him down, and he was home not with COVID, but somebody on their team had gotten COVID. So everybody, that's the rule there. If somebody on your team gets COVID, anyone with interaction with that team, quarantine for however long. So I really like that. It's a good policy to have at your company, and they're all working from home. But I was sad because I wanted to see him and I couldn't.
Sure.
So that was a bummer. So that means I had to see people I didn't really care about seeing. Just it's not true.
No.
The fruition of that thing, it should be in the next couple of days, you guys. So keep your eye out for that.
Very cool.
Can't
wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Nice.
Let's see here. Woman arrested in Indiana's Applebee's, or in an Indiana Applebee's, I'm sure there's multiple, after an argument over, quote, all-you-can-eat deal. Yeah.
You could just see where it's going, can't you? I'm assuming. I have not read the article, but I'm assuming I can see where it's going.
It says here, the woman, a.k.a. wife to previous Vice President Mike Pence. Just kidding. This is not true. When I think of Indiana, I think of Mike Pence. For some
Yeah, you
reason.
think of Mike Pence? Yeah, sure.
Sorry, everyone. I used to think of David Letterman. Then I used to think of the Indy 500. And then I thought of the Pacers. But now I think of Pence. Anyway, a woman is arrested in an Applebee's restaurant in Portage. This is in Indiana, it's a little town there. Earlier this month, after an argument occurred about the all-you-can-eat deal that the company does, the 28-year-old woman was arrested on August 2nd and charged with disorderly conduct, kind of like our milk people from the pre-show.
That's right.
Or early show, rather, not pre-show. According to an arrest report obtained by USA Today.
The milk was thrown here, too, at the Applebee's.
Oh, they probably, yeah, I mean, you might have.
Yeah.
Riblets were thrown, Brian. Riblets.
Riblets were thrown. The Oriental chicken salad was thrown, and that's really the best thing you can get at Applebee's.
The rib basket and that salad are they're two amazing things.
Yeah.
Everything else there,
yeah. Yeah, the riblets I have a problem with because sometimes their cutting process of chopping up those riblets gives you little tiny pieces of bone and cartilage that you think are food, but they're not food. Don't eat those.
No, you're right. That's a good point. I'm always very careful about that, but I also kind of like fat. And so when a little piece of cartilage is part of the fat, I'll allow it. But my wife thinks that's really gross. We're literally that couple in the song.
Jack Spratt.
Yeah,
and
except
his
it's flipped. So Jack Spratt would eat all the fat, and his wife would only eat lean.
Yeah, when I have wings, it looks, you do not see anything but a pile of bones left on the plate. There, if it can be chewed, I've probably eaten it.
Same. I love it. To me, that's like a corn cob. You best eat all the corn. Don't be given.
Exactly.
Don't put the bone down with a bunch of
those
stuff.
Little tiny malformed kernels on the corners, on the edges, the two ends. No.
Yeah. What are you, an animal? I don't know who we're talking to out there, but you know who you are.
I don't know either.
Yeah, you know who they are.
Yeah.
Anyway, it says here that she was reported or arrested for verbal abuse. Dispatchers advised the responding officers they had heard multiple females screaming and threatening people. One of the officers wrote in his report, when officers arrived on the scene, they were met outside by multiple adults, including a woman who said they had been involved in a verbal altercation with the Applebee's manager. I'm trying to get to the point where they tell me what she was mad about. Here we go. It says the all-you-can-eat deal in question offers endless boneless wings, riblets, and double crunch shrimp served with endless fries for $15.99 a person. Damn it, that sounds like a good deal right now.
It kind of does. Yeah.
Oh, Brian, I kind of want to go to... I can't believe I'm saying this. I want to go to Applebee's.
Yeah. No, Tom Norm in the chat says he hasn't been to one in a very long time, but they went downhill really fast quality wise. So, so maybe it's not so good. But geez, that is a kind of a crazy deal.
It's a really good deal, and she just kept, going. It says here, when the manager informed the table that it was not the case, because she thought it was $15.99
for everybody.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Hello.
That's kind of ridiculous. What place would say, however many people you can fit around the table, it's $15.99 total for everyone?
I think that she couldn't be more in the wrong in the histrry of her life.
For sure, yeah. Why on earth? Who would think that?
Nobody.
I know
smart.
a lot of places they do require. There's a great crab boil place that has an all-you-can-eat deal that is insane. Because I just go there and I'm like, all right, let me start off with 2 Dungeness clusters. Thank you very much. Ooh. And then we're going to go from there. But their requirement is that everybody at the table must have all you can eat. Like you can't have, well, Tina's just going to have a salad. And then I'm going to get all you can eat and just kind of like flick a mussel over to every once in a while.
This is like, that's like the place in the hotel in Vegas they don't do it now, but they used to make you pay if you were going to split with somebody, you had to pay extra or whatever.
Oh, Hash House A Go Go,
Hash
yeah,
House,
split
yeah.
plate charge, which nobody who goes to Hash House A Go Go, well, maybe somebody is finishing their entire plate of food, because it is more than a meal. It is more than anybody should be having
It's
for a
ridiculous.
single meal.
It's ridiculous.
And it's perfect size for two people to share a plate of food.
Yeah, and I did
And
notice
it's not
last
like you
time
can-
they stopped doing it. I mean, they didn't charge us last time we were there. When I was with you, in fact.
Yeah,
Kim and I split
no,
it.
they didn't charge.
do
They
it.
didn't charge Tina and I either. It was perfect. It was great.
Yeah,
Because
they
then it's like perfect. We'll split this, and if we want a little sweet thing, we can get. Oh, let's do a side of a muffin or a pancake or something, and we can split that too.
I'll bet they ran into so much just irritated customer resistance that they
I'm sure.
dropped the policy.
And it doesn't help that the plaza has fridges in some of their rooms, so you might be tempted to take that half plate back up to your room and shove it in the fridge. I bet 99% of those people never eat that styrofoam container full of Hash House A Go Go, and the plaza staff have
Yeah.
to throw out yet another styrofoam container full of food,
Yep.
forgotten food.
Yep, there's probably a lot of that going on. But man, all this food talk's killing me. I'm so hungry today. I'm so
I
hungry.
see you really hitting the protein shake hard, Scott. I can tell. Yeah,
I mean, I'm halfway done, but it's not going to be enough. I know that.
you're really putting the fast in Slim Fast.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, we are going to take a break. When we come back, major spoilers time. We've missed Steven terribly, so he's here again today.
I know.
We're
What a
resetting
day
the
to
clock.
take off right after the Comic-Con announcements and stuff.
True enough. So we'll
Or
do
not
that.
Comic-Con, D23.
D23, yeah. And I think there has been a Comic-Con New York or something, right? Or something
Oh,
else
is there?
since then, I
Yeah,
think.
Gamescom I think is
Right now,
going
right?
on right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of those announcements yet. I need to get on that.
So we'll be getting Dan on here pretty soon to talk about all that business.
Ooh. Well, anyway, all that coming up after this break. Brian's going to now tell us about a song that he's going to play.
Yeah, I'm going to play this song with my bare hands. And I don't mean my B-A-R-E hands. I mean my RAR, bare hands. That's the name of the band, by the way, Bare Hands. They have a brand new single called Adderall/Ambien. You don't spell out the slash. It's just the typographical mark. This comes from their brand new album, which comes out October 18th via Cantora Records. That album is called The Key to What. These guys are great. They're going to be touring in all the way from Brooklyn to Los Angeles. So go see them if they come through to your town. The song is called Adderall Ambien. Here are Bare Hands.
You wild thing. Let's drive straight down to Mexico, huh? Come on, right this minute.
Out in front of the BOY.
And we returned. Brian, who was that again?
That was Bare Hands. Their brand new single is called Adderall Ambien, comes from their new album, comes out October 18th. It's called The Key to What.
That's a pretty bad combo. Adderall and Ambien at the same time is like fire and water. It's like one's an upper stimulant, the other one is a major downer.
They're going to cancel each other out.
Yeah, you'll just be neutral again. What do you want to do that for? But I like it as a name. All right, what are we doing here? We're going to add Steven Schleicher.
Yeah.
Schleicher to the program. Here we go.
Schleicher. Steven Schleicher.
Let's hope his...
Who pointed out, by the way, that AIM is a far more devious and devilish company than Oscorp. in Marvel Comics.
I agree. Yeah. Because Oscorp really was just about the downfall of a dude. Right.
It was really just, it's just Norman.
Yeah. Norman.
And now welcome Steven to the show. He's a huge freaking nerd.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah, man. It's Steven Schleicher joining us as he does often on Mondays to talk about the world of geek culture, comics, movies, and more. Hello, Steven. Welcome back.
Hello, Scott. Hello, Brian.
Hey, your thing's working. There's no delay or cutout. You're awesome.
Hey.
This computer is on its last leg. There are so many problems with this thing. So you can bet I've been like, is this working? Is this working?
I'm
Is this
sure
working?
you have. Yeah.
Well, you sound great.
Now,
Yeah.
Brian,
it sounds like-
I'm really sorry about what happened to you over the weekend and in these dumb kids. And I sit at the dinner table and I read these stories and I look across to my 17-year-old son and I'm like, man, I hope you don't do dumbass stuff like this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And the last time I said that to him, there was a pause and he said, okay, Dad.
Yeah.
And I had to then say, okay, what did you do?
Right. What are you now not going to tell me that you did that it sounds like is on the level of
Yeah.
He said, I think it's been long enough that you won't get too mad.
Oh.
Apparently, a few years ago, one of his friends' parents was out of town and the kid was home by himself. And so a bunch of his friends, my sons and his friends, decided that they would dress up in what's the game where you play the sus character and
Among
Us.
Among Us. So they decided to dress up in Among Us costumes and scary clown costumes and go wander around this kid's house at night.
Oh, jeez.
Outside the house or inside the house?
No, outside the house.
Okay.
Outside the house, yeah. There's nothing that could possibly go wrong in a neighborhood with seeing a bunch of scary clowns wandering around a house.
No, but the kid got freaked out enough that the cops got called, and the cops had a stern talking to the boy and his friends.
Good. Like, you got to scare him a little bit, you know?
Yep.
I guess he showed me a video of him trying to run away, and he was wearing one of the big costumes.
really hard to run in those giant shoes.
Yes, it was quite funny.
Well, that's the thing about today. The revolution is literally being filmed. Like, you're out there with phones and stuff. So the kids today are all getting their stuff on camera.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we didn't film any of that shit. We were just like, if we're gonna toothpaste this guy's
we had
windows,
a giant VHS camera that we couldn't carry around.
Yeah, the over the shoulder one. Oh man, that thing sucked.
Yeah.
But so my brother and his friends burned down a 7-Eleven, and
oh gosh,
yeah,
today is confession day.
Yeah, I think I've talked about this before, but he last second had to bail for some reason. My brother did, but all of his friends followed through on it. What happened? They weren't trying to burn down the 7-Eleven. They were trying to just cause a ruckus, and by doing that, they put a cherry bomb firework type thing inside of a bag of Lay's potato chips. And the idea was that it would just go bam and everybody would have a good laugh. Not a big deal. Chips would go everywhere. Well, that happened, but the chips were on fire because the oil in the
grease and fire.
Yeah, grease in the 70s was not the same as it is today. It's very flammable. And it spread flaming chips all over the 7-Eleven. The employee just ran out of there, didn't do anything. And the thing burned to the ground. So all of those guys, some of them are 18. So some of them got like charged as an adult.
Oh, geez.
All this stuff. And they weren't charged with arson because it wasn't intentional arson. But anyway,
yeah, of course.
Bunch of stuff that's on their record now.
Second-degree arson.
And my brother was like, whew, missed that bullet by a second. And here's the best part. That 7-Eleven location, what got rebuilt and is still there, is at the mouth
back to being a 7-Eleven? Oh.
Yeah, and it's at the mouth of Little Cottonwood Canyon, which is the kind of the way you go up to all the like Snowbird and everything.
Yeah, Snowbird and Alta and stuff. Yeah,
and that is the still to this day the highest traffic location for all 7-Elevens in the country, and it was then too, because people just going up there and grabbing shit on their way up there, get snacks, get drinks. You know, it's just constantly full of people, which is why they targeted it in the first place because it was going to be full of people, idiots. Anyway, it's back now and everything's fine. But my brother missed that by this much. He would have had an adult record because he was 18. He would have been screwed his whole life.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my God.
So don't do that.
Yeah, me and my friend Don Mosby got stuck in Longmont overnight one night, catching a bus early the next morning, and he had a big bag of fireworks, and we decided, hey, how fun would it be to fire these into the Twin Peaks Mall, because there were little cracks in the doors. Doors were locked, but they had a little space in between, and we decided, let's fire some bottle rockets into the mall through these doors, and something bad could have happened. Fortunately, nothing did happen, but we did get chased by the police that night.
Oh man, did he have
all over Longmont?
Did you guys call him Mose or have a cool nickname
No, we called him. He went by Donnie, and we just called him Donnie.
Do you ever say, "Damn it, Donnie, shut up, Don"? Like do like Big Lebowski?
Donnie, you're out of your element. Donnie, you don't know what you're talking about.
I want a friend named Donnie so I can do that. All right. Well, Stephen, it's good to have you here, and I'm glad your son isn't up to too much trouble. That's the key here. Let's talk about DC's Absolute Power and the new series coming. I think this sounds great.
Yeah, so and this may be coming up probably in a month or two for those of you that are on the DC Unlimited series. So there's this storyline going on right now. Mark Waid is writing it, called Absolute Power, in which Amanda Waller decides that she's had enough of all these superheroes, and she is basically declaring martial law with her in charge and trying to take out all of the heroes that she can. But once this event is over, it's rather interesting, I think. A lot of people don't care for it, but once this is over, they are going to launch another DC Comics line called Absolute DC. The regular comics that you're reading, if you're reading Batman, Superman, all that stuff, those will continue. But this Absolute line, which is kind of led by Scott Snyder, is going to take what are the core components that make up a Batman, a Superman, a Wonder Woman, and what happens if those characters never had access to those things.
Oh.
So if I were to ask you,
almost like a what if kind of thing, like are these
kind of, you might also want to think of it as maybe an ultimate line, but they don't want to call it ultimate, so they're going to call it absolute.
Right.
So for example, if I were to say, what are three things that when you think of Batman that kind of get to the core of what is Batman?
Dead parents, access to a lot of money to build weapons, and cave.
And cave.
Yeah, pretty close. So
you need those three things to be Batman.
Yeah, so here's the tag for Absolute Batman #1, written by Scott Snyder with art by Nick Dragata. It's without a mansion, without the money, without the Batman, or without the butler. What's left is the absolute Dark Knight.
Wow. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So was he just sitting around on his couch eating potato chips, or what does he do?
Maybe. I mean, it is a poor guy, not a man of means,
right,
who has to go out and become the Batman.
That's interesting.
So maybe what is the average Joe
Playboy?
Batman? Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, any one of us, although I'd be more like the tens of money's Batman. And
I'm just glad they've moved away from having everything labeled crisis. This crisis, that crisis, this other crisis, and now we've moved on to absolute. Ooh, are they going to have an absolute crisis at the end of this?
Oh, they might. Who knows?
Yeah.
So let's do Absolute Superman #1. It's written by Jason Aaron with art by Rafa Sandoval. What are the three things that you would think they would take away to make the absolute Man of Steel?
Well, Kryptonian birth.
Okay.
Cellophane S on his chest.
I mean, that would do the whole. If he's just not born on Krypton, you're done. There's no Superman if you do that.
It's not that. It's without the fortress, so no Fortress of Solitude.
Okay.
Without the family, so no Mom, Pa, Kent. Okay. Without a home, what's left is the absolute Man of Steel.
Okay. But he's still from Krypton.
Yeah, he's still going to be an alien from another planet. But what if he was raised without the morals of good Kansas farm families?
I
what
feel
if he
like
didn't have access to the Fortress of Solitude?
He'd still be the same guy if he didn't have the Fortress of Solitude. It's not like he goes there to find himself, recenter.
Well, I mean, he does, but he also goes there because that's where he keeps all of his Kryptonian heritage stuff, and he can communicate, with the crystals and all of that thing.
Right.
And then the other one that's launching,
Natural History Museum, sure.
Yeah, all of these launch in October, so we're just a month or so away. What about Absolute Wonder Woman? This is written by Kelly Thompson with art by Hayden Sherman.
All right, so let's say she's still Amazonian.
Feminism.
So she's still
You're
Amazonian.
Almost right there, Ryan.
Okay.
Is she still Amazonian then? That origin stays, right? She comes from.
It says without the island paradise. Without the sisterhood that shaped her.
Sisterhood, okay, sure.
And then there's one more.
Without her golden lasso.
Without a mission of peace.
Oh, okay, it's even better. I like that better.
The only thing that's left is Absolute Amazon. Now, I will say that there is an event that is kicking off with a Justice League series that is going to kind of bring all this to the forefront. And let's just say that if you've got a Justice League, the thing that I feel is a little bit overused these days in comic books with the Justice League is the return of Darkseid. And apparently Darkseid is going to unleash one of his Omega beams so harsh that is going to literally fracture the DC universe. And that is where we get these absolute characters. So if you think about what are the things that Darkseid could do, we kind of get a hint of that. And this all kicks off, like I said, in October of this year, and will continue hopefully as an ongoing if it is well received. But these will be two separate lines. So if you're like, man, none of that sounds good, just give me Batman punching the Joker in the face. Guess what? Batman, Detective Comics, all of that. All Joker punching in the face all the time.
Okay.
But if you want maybe something different, then you've got this absolute Absolute Power and Absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman will be the main kickoff titles for that line.
Well, I like when DC does events. I usually am kind of into it, but you don't think this is like a universe-altering New 52 style reset type
No,
event?
because they are definitely keeping their old line. So this is just another multiverse title. I also hate that DC is like, we have the multiverse. No, we don't have the multiverse. Oh, we have this Black Labels title. Maybe we still have it. And there is a really cool, I think, Black Canary Black Label title coming up, but this will be just another kind of imprint line of DC Comics.
Okay. Well, I'm in. You said something about it being DC Unlimited this Waller story?
No, it's not an exclusive, but
Okay.
I know that Brian is not somebody that rushes out and picks up physical copies of comic books. And I know many of the listeners are probably on a DC or Marvel Unlimited line. So some of this stuff is about 4 to 6 months later.
Yeah.
But if you are somebody that wants to get in on this stuff like right now, go check out your local comic shop.
I do this thing where I subscribe to either Unlimited or Ultimate about 6 months at a time, and then I get off for a while and just sort of had my fill for a bit, and then I'll go back another 6 months later and do another 6 month run. Works really well if you're not somebody who just needs to go out and get the latest thing at your shop like the week it comes out. I think these digital services are pretty good. Yeah. And also DC's is cheaper, which I like that. The Marvel one's too much money per month. Well, all right then. This is great. You mentioned it. The DC United wrapped up with 4.5 million. Tell me about that. What's going on with that?
I didn't think it was going to get up that high, but they started unleashing a bunch of really cool sets and exclusive figures that could only be gotten through the Kickstarter. I think the one that everybody that really kind of flipped it and got it over the top was its Conqueror pledge, which includes the base set, all of the expansions, all the Kickstarter exclusives, but the Conqueror series comes with a giant Starro the Conqueror figure.
I see that. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's kind of like their Galactus, their equivalent of Galactus from this. Wow. That's really cool.
They have a lot of good stuff. The one that everybody was waiting for was Green Arrow. I think he came in at the very last. He was the very last character introduced. They've got a lot of great villains in this. The question now on everyone's minds will be, will we get this in the next 2 years or not? Because, Brian, I still have not got my Marvel United Multiverse set yet. And they're telling me maybe the middle to the end of September.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Even though Mexico, New York, Denver, they're all getting their sets, and me, who is an early pledge person, maybe you're in on this boat, and maybe by the mid to end of September.
Do they know who they're messing with? They're messing with major spoilers. That's a
they don't. It's fine. It's really in how they ship it. So apparently Denver is the cutoff for West Coast stuff, and everything else then becomes East Coast shipment. So the Denver stuff came in, or the West Coast stuff came in. The international stuff is separate, but now all the stuff, the boat has arrived, or one of the boats has arrived on the East Coast, and so they're slowly starting to get out the East Coast stuff. But apparently I'm in wave 3 of East Coast shipment, which, like I said, is mid to end of September.
Yeah, because Hayes, Kansas, totally East Coast.
Totally East Coast.
Yeah, maybe they did that. Maybe they looked and said, "Hayes, Kansas. That sounds remote and lame."
I mean, it might be easier to ship from like a New Orleans or Dallas or something like that. But I would say your dividing line should be the Mississippi River. If you're west of the Mississippi, you're in the west. If you're east of the Mississippi, you're in the east.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I don't know. I've never dealt with Kickstarter major deliveries of these kinds of things that have to come from China, so I don't know what the deal is. But I'm kind of pleased that everything we're getting in this wave 1, and that does set up the possibility that come on, we'll do a season 2 of DC United.
Yeah, I really like the art style on this thing. It looks awesome.
Yeah. I love their minis are great. I like that is Arm Fall Off Boy. That's the character that is also like, it's called something else in the Suicide Squad movie, right?
Yes, but that's the reason why it's included in this, because when I saw it, I was like, oh great, we're gonna get a Legion of Superheroes, and then everyone's like, nah, it's a Suicide Squad thing, and I was like, oh
no, it's the Fillion character, right? He's the one that had the
I can't remember his name. Their minis, I mean, like, I'd be tempted just to get a box of their minis, because their minis are just so cool. Whether they're Marvel, DC, doesn't matter to me. I have started working on Drax from the Marvel United series, but I also grabbed the zombies and the Crisis Protocol. So I have all 3 of those versions of Drax, and so I popped them all in the airbrush thing and started painting all 3 of them at the same time because they can use the same colors. Might as well, do these as a group. I think Jeff Sire was the one who suggested that.
That's good thinking.
Yeah, wait till I get to Deadpool. I think I have, between all the different versions of Deadpool that have come out in Marvel United and Zombies and Crisis Protocol, I probably have 12 Deadpools to all paint at the same time.
You got enough Deadpools for the movie reenactment and all those Deadpools.
Yeah. I can actually do, yes.
Yeah.
Now, do you enjoy playing the Marvel United game, or are you just in it for the painting the miniatures?
No, the game is great. And it's one thing that I didn't have a hard time getting Tina to play because it changes up enough with the different powers. We did the Sinister Six fight a little while ago. We played it once with 4 people. No, twice with 4 people. Way more fun with 4 than having 2 people manage 2 characters each.
Are you a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I am not.
Oh, okay. That's too bad. Because I was going to say, there is a fan-made version that you can go board game geek or somewhere where someone has made all of the cards and the villain decks and everything for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme. And then there's a person on Etsy who has, based on those designs, made some chibi characters.
Oh, that's
3D
cool.
printed those out that you can order. So I have ordered the 3D chibis, and can't wait to try.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they based more on the OG Turtles or more of the more recent? 90s?
It's more of the more recent stuff, but it's all in this little chibi design, so it's kind of cartoony to begin with. So,
right. That's cool.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely more of a feel from the television show, the original animated series, than from comic books or the more recent movies.
Right.
Yeah, they're less Frank Miller looking and more.
Yes.
There's a new animated thing too. I know the movie, obviously, that just came out is I think streaming now. But is it on Amazon Prime that there's a new series, an animated series
for Turtles?
About that.
Ninja
I don't know about that one.
TV show. I know there's a new Batman series on Prime.
Oh man, that is a good show.
I hear it's good. Yeah, the noir, the whole noir
really good.
Yeah, I'm into it. I want to watch it. Here it is, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't see anything that's new.
Nothing newer than 2017. Maybe the 2017 series. It looked like it had the feel of the movie, which is what surprised me. But maybe that's what's.
I did see this. This one was good. It was short run though, but I really liked the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 to 2017 run. That was great.
Oh, Paramount Plus, brand new. It is called Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Does it look like
Paramount Plus? Oh, everybody.
Paramount
Plus.
Nice.
Features Io Adebri from The Bear doing as April O'Neil.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah. Everybody else I don't recognize.
Steven, I don't know if you heard it at the top of the show. Brian brought up Jeff Sire. I wanted to give him some quick credit when I lost the file. Anyway, we played the voice actor from Transformers Beast Wars who did Megatron.
Yes.
That's somebody that I can't remember the connection, but somehow Jeff Sire ended up having dinner with this guy.
Wow.
And that's how he got him to do our little intro for the show. So I thought you'd like that. I know you're not necessarily a hardcore Transformers fan, but it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Anytime you can get a voice actor to do something for your show is awesome.
Yeah, Beast Wars was awesome. I loved it. It looks like shit now, but it was a great show back in the day. All right.
And the early 3D stuff, yes, of course.
Oh, yeah. Remember, what was the one?
Reboot?
Yeah, Reboot. That's how I always forget the name, but Reboot was so innovative and terrible now, if you look at it now.
So apparently they've gotten the rights, all of the rights necessary for this. And my understanding is they are going to re-release that in a Blu-ray or 4K form for people that want to get that original Reboot series, because it hasn't really been available easily for a long time, is my understanding. So
yeah, that's cool that they're getting that. I wish they'd maybe, I don't know, remaster it or something. Just give it some texture, because it's sparse. It's really ugly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Steven, it's always a pleasure to have you here. And didn't we just have am I crazy, or was there a Comic-Con in New York or something here in the last week?
No, New York Comic-Con generally, if I remember correctly, takes place in October. So there was Gen Con was just recently, Dragon Con is a couple of weeks, and before that was San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. There's probably other regional ones that are coming up here and there. But yeah, those are the big ones right now.
Maybe there's a Canadian one that happened. And I cannot.
I'm sure there's a Canadian. There's probably a fan con going on somewhere.
Yeah, an expo, sure.
Mm-hmm.
There was something going on. But anyway,
didn't you just do a fan? Oh, that was July. That was July 4th is the
Fan
Expo Denver.
here in Denver. Yeah, which was great. It was a lot of fun.
Our FanX is in September, I think. Yeah. Carter is making the most epic Karlach outfit from Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's so good, dude.
Why you guys should absolutely have a table in the artist alley at
You really should.
We
Fan
tried. That process right now is a complete freaking upside down mess trying to get a table.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Everybody's pissed. We're not the only ones trying, and it's just a mess. Like how they're giving priority to whoever they give priority to and stuff. It's just kind of broken right now. So
like San Diego Comic-Con is one of those. That's the only one that I know of. Is that at the end of the San Diego Comic-Con, everyone who is there gets first dibs on booths for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't renew your booth for the next year, then it goes up to whoever. And so there have been people that have been there for literally 20, 30 years, and they keep doing it just because they've got a really good booth space. And if they lose it, they may never get in again. So it may be one of those things.
It is one of those things.
At your Scott, where it's like you have to get a booth a year, 2 years in advance.
Yeah.
To get floor space. So.
And it's also like, how do I put this? It's like domain squatting a little bit.
Yeah.
Some people, like, there was a year we went in there and I'm like, why are these 3 booths just freaking empty? There's a name on them, but nobody's here. Well, it's because they're just squatting it. They don't want to lose their position.
Mm-hmm.
And that's annoying. They should boot those people out and let real people like have a booth.
Exactly.
So I guess they don't care because they get their money. But
I think if you sold 1,000 of your mats now, Scott, you could probably sell 2,000 at that show easily.
Oh yeah,
easily.
we would do great. We had a booth back in 2014 when it was still called Comic-Con, and it was great. But they hadn't yet figured out how they were going to go year to year, so we couldn't even get one the next year, even though we had already had one the year prior.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what they're doing now. It's all kind of effed up, but we'll see how it goes. That's in September. All right, that's it for this. Steven, tell people what's going on in Major Spoilers so they can check it out.
If people are looking for reviews of comic books, if you want to know what's coming up, if you want to sneak peek Tuesdays, every Tuesday, we release sneak peeks of comic books that are coming out. So if you want a couple of pages of previews of those comics, head over to majorspoilers.com. We've got them ready for you. And this week looks to be a pretty big week in comics with lots of good stuff coming out. Nice. Steven Schleicher, a.k.a. Major Spoilers. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you in a couple. Stay hydrated. Bye now. Thanks, Steven. Never forget, stay hydrated. That's right. I'm out of coffee. I'm not going to be hydrated now. No, that's where you get your water. It's all your water comes through that coffee. Mm-hmm. It's dirt water, yes. Dirt water. All right, Monday show is happening today, but not in the way that you're used to. Carter's still mandatory bed rest after her surgery. So she is going to not be walking up and down stairs. Instead, we're going to record it up there and then post it. Just no live stream, but it's still going up today. So watch for that coming up later. Brian, you got anything today you want to let anyone know about? No, nothing. No, I don't, Scott. No, nothing streaming. The stuff I've been doing, I record so that I can edit it into something that looks a lot better than, live streaming me putting together Millennium Falcon. It doesn't look as exciting. There's a lot of dead time where I'm like finding the right screw and then waiting for glue to dry or something like that. So, doing those recorded, but I've got I have been recording all the steps while I work on this ginormous Infinity Gauntlet. Hey, you want to see it? Yeah, you got it right here. Got a progress shot. Yeah. Let's take a look. Let's see what this thing's doing. Just gonna bring it over. Just gonna hold it up. We're all gonna be like, yeah. I hope you're ready for this. Hope you're ready for the awesomeness that is the giant. Oh my gosh! Infinity Gauntlet. Look at that on the base and everything. On the base and everything. Yes. Damn, dude. That looks awesome. Yeah. Like, just to give you some reference, we're gonna put brats, Wisconsin brats, in these holes. I was gonna say those are big holes. What these holes are for. Sure. Yeah. There's nothing else going in those. Those are just definitely nothing else is going in this thing. So this is the prime stage.
I've just bondoed the two halves together, the fist and the wrist.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to prime this. I'm going to sand that down so you can't tell. Then prime the whole thing in black, and then some gold paint, and then this thing's ready to go.
They might say its completion is inevitable.
Oh, yes, right now it's 50% done. Yeah.
Very nice. Half of that's going to get burned. All right. Well, there you go. That's going to do it for us today. We're going to get out of here. Let's play a song as we do it and do a request and then go. What do you got?
I like that idea. This one goes all the way back to June. It was a request I wasn't able to get to back then. Eridow wrote in, said, "Hello, I missed out on my birthday back in December. You know, we're pretty close to just waiting until it comes back around again, Eridow. So I'm hoping I can snag my half birthday instead. Last year, I finally climbed to the top of the hill and overlooked 40 revolutions on this marble we call Earth. It sure doesn't feel like I'm that old, but I guess that I get the old lady sound now."
Oh, shit. Well, you do. That's the rule. Here it is right here.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations.
Lovely. I'm hoping you can find a song from the critically acclaimed game Final Fantasy XIV. Any soundtrack would do. That game got me through some dark times during COVID after losing my job right as the pandemic began and all the trials that go with it. If you can't find any covers of Final Fantasy XIV songs, any other video game RPG soundtrack would be fantastic. Thank you both for all your work and the joy you bring to me on a daily basis with your podcasts. Honk. Ah!
Oh, man. I'll give her two things. Honk and then this. Well, this first, then honk. You've won your Final Fantasy battle. And then, where's the honk? Hold on.
He was really looking for a cover for me to play that was video game RPG related, but that was good too.
No. I know that. I'm just playing it because I had it. Here you go.
Honk. Oh.
That's the one you're getting because you're older.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. All right, air it out. This is interesting. This had no idea this thing even existed, but I'm so glad it does. This comes from a single that was, in parentheses, inspired by Final Fantasy XIV. This is Sia doing a cover of Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon. Here is Sia.
Oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. We'll see you guys tomorrow on a brand new TMS.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
This is a riverbed.
It sure is.
Mm-hmm.
It is a riverbed.